I welcome you all today to this class. We shall continue with part 2 of chapter number 16 that we have covered up to verse number 7, and we will start today from verse number 8. Yes, Mataji. Yes. Hare Krishna.
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु जी।
Krishna Mata.
ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। ॐ नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत श्री राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा।
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So we have covered up to verse number 7. We'll continue with the, you can see, transcendental and demonic qualities. Lord Krishna described in first 3 verses, 1 to 3, the transcendental qualities or divine qualities, and those were 26 in nature. Thereafter, he has devoted most of the time of this chapter in describing the demonic nature and the outcome of having that nature. What is the attitude of those persons? What are the characteristics, features, and how their activities are governed by their particular mode. And we know that divine qualities match with the mode of goodness, whereas the demonic qualities, they match with the mode of passion and mode of ignorance. Mode of passion, the ultimate goal is for they go to higher planets. And if they fall down or they possess demoniac qualities, then they have to descend to the material world again and again, and sometimes slide down to lower forms of life or hellish planets. So this is what we have we have learned earlier, as well as up to the verse number 7. So in verse number 7 to 20, he is describing demonic nature. We have covered this demonic, partly we have just started, in fact, demonic nature and demonic qualities. So we know the examples of now, whatever we are going to study henceforth, when Lord Krishna is describing demoniac qualities, let us consider, keep in the back seat of our mind the picture of Ravana and Kansa. And let us see those characteristics or the features or activities which are being described in the view of the life of Kansa and also the Ravana. So in this we have know that Lord Krishna talked about pravritti and nibritti. Pravritti, things that must be done in the devotional service of Lord Krishna. And nibritti, that means those things which must be avoided and should not be done when a person is a spiritual seeker. So this is what we heard here. But the persons with demoniac nature, they are full of nibrittis. They don't have pravritti, positive pravritti. They don't have positive tendencies. Their all activities are part of the negativity or nibritti, and they are acting against the scriptural principles. They do not follow any kind of regulative principle. They do not follow scripture injunctions. They have a very unclean, dirty life, and they create their own God. They don't have faith in God. They create their own imagination of God and his form, and they believe that this world is just a just out of lust. It was because there were two persons, male and female, so they had a sex desire. That is how living beings came into context. And there was some kind of Big Bang theory, or there was explosion, and all these material things came up, and there is the material things created living entities, and this entire material nature of Prakriti. They do not believe that there is a person, the person has got a karma theory. They do not believe in karma, theory of karmas. That is, the person is bound by soul and super soul presence. They don't believe in soul, super soul. They don't believe in theory of karma. So they are completely atheist or scientific, and they speculate for everything. They speculate that there is no God, and they create their own God and their own methods, own rules. So that is Alpa Buddhaya that we'll come to know afterwards. So this is the stage. They don't know what is to be done and not to be done. That is, do not know, follow Shastra's injunctions or even the regulative principles. They are unclean because they are not. Just a minute. So they are unclean because their habits and activities or attitude are wrong. And secondly, they are the behavior depends on their attitude. So activities are also bad and demonic in nature. They are untruthful because they believe in their own speculations and their presumptions. They don't believe that God is there. So this is the characteristics of a demonic nature. Now we will start with verse number 8 today. Chanda Mataji, you started prayers. Please continue with a couple of shlokas.
Yes, Prabhuji. My voice may break because I'm traveling. I'm in train.
Okay. So
So,
no problem. Anybody else would like to volunteer reading? Satyam Apratishta.
Can I, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. 8th shloka, is it?
Yeah, verse number 8.
One.
Yes.
Yeah. Asatyamapratiष्ठं te jagadahuranishwaram अपरस्परसम्भूतं किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम्. They say that this world is unreal, that there is no foundation and that there is no God in control. It is produced of sex desire and has no cause other than lust.
Thank you, Mataji.
Proud atheist. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. So the
Dhanyavad.
atheists and scientists, they say there is no God. The lust was the cause of creation of this entire material nature. There is soul does not exist. There is when soul, then they also believe that super soul also does not exist. And this was just by an accident. This material nature was created, and life they consider it is a dream. They do not believe in theory of karma. They do not believe in God. So they consider that accidentally we have come here by accident, and there is no controller, there is no maintainer, and there is no in fact understanding of scriptures also. They do not follow any kind of scriptures or their injunctions. So this is a demonic philosophy which is described. World is unreal with no God in control, and there is no cause other than lust and the spirit. Thus world is a produce out of sex desire. So this is the demonic concept philosophy. When you see, when one has a such certain attitude of beliefs in certain kind of philosophy, his actions are also guided by that kind of belief. And that belief is that there is no God, there is no maintainer, there is no creator. The creation has come by accident, maybe out of sexual desire or out of desire for sex between two persons, and maybe that it is a Big Bang theory. There was a big explosion and the entire creation came into existence. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Etam drustimavashtabhya nashtatmanopabhuddhayah prabhavantyugrakarmanah kshayaya jagato hitaha. it went away. 1 minute, Prabhuji. Yeah, now I got it. Following such conclusions, the demoniac who are lost to themselves and who have no intelligence engage in unbeneficial, horrible works meant to destroy the world. Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Dhanyavad.
Mataji. So, etam drashtim avastabhya nastatmano alpabuddhaya. They are nashtatmano alpabuddhaya. Alpabuddhaya means they are people of low intelligence because they are illusioned. They don't have faith in God, so they are illusioned. And when they have no intelligence, all their actions also are going to be harmful or destructive in nature. Now, the ugra karma, that word is used is pravanta ugra karmana. Ugra karmana means painful, destructive activities, which are not only destructive and painful for others, but also for themselves even. Even then, because out of their false pride and ego, they keep on creating, like we know the weapons of mass destruction, like nuclear weapons, like animal killing. They are all out of illusion because people are alpa buddha. They do not know that this animal has also been created by Lord Krishna himself as equal as well is same creation as we ourselves. The animals are also have been created by Lord Krishna. So they are at par with us so far as living entity, other living entities are concerned. But they are not intelligent, they are alpa buddha, and they do not believe in creation. They do not believe in soul, so they go upon killing others, killing animals, slaughterhouses are the examples of this thing. And you see this nuclear weapon explosion here. So this is the product of such persons who have got such these kind of illusion or in alpa buddha, or that is the people of low intelligence. So that is why such persons create weapons which are harmful to the entire creation, entire nation, and all nations, as well as for all living entities also. So this picture is showing the attitude and activities now. Demonic attitude is that lost to themselves, they are illusioned because they do not possess intelligence, and they are illusioned, no intelligence, so they think to be advancing. Actually, this is the status of our scientists. They think that by creating new weapons of destruction or new devices which are acting against the nature, they are engaged in work which is destructive. They do not believe that the creation which they are destroying, it belongs to Lord also. And engagement means their activities. This is attitude, these are activities, and these activities are ugra karma, painful, destructive, and also horrible action. They are engaged in such activities. Yes, Mataji. So verse number 10 and 12, 11, 12, they have given a translation here. Please.
The demoniac, taking shelter of insatiable lust, pride, and false prestige, and being thus illusioned, are always sworn to unclean work, attracted by the impermanent. 16, 11, and 12. They believe that to gratify the senses unto the end of life is the prime necessity of human civilization. Thus, there is no end to their anxiety. Being bound by hundreds and thousands of desires, by lust and anger, they secure money by illegal means for sense gratification. Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So verse number 10 to 12, they are describing further the demonic qualities or the activities of such persons who have a demoniac nature. They work very hard. That is, we know that in mode of passion, people work very hard. That is a lot of endeavor to earn money. When there is a lot of money, then they have desire for more and more sense gratification, more and more wealth, more and more opulences, and they want to enjoy or satisfy their senses and want to derive happiness out of those things. But the happiness never comes because happiness evades them, because it is just a transitory phase. The desire moves from one to another, and that this process of endeavor, earning lot of money, and maybe by illegal means on also sometimes, and also then seeking happiness out of that endeavor, that never ends. So we know these four regulative principles: illicit relationship, gambling, and intoxication, and eating of meat or non-vegetarian food. That is their prime focus. And when you have lot of money, you develop vices. You don't know how to use it because they are not religious people. They will not spend that money in good activities. They will sometimes only be charitable, but that also for show business purpose, so that their name comes in newspaper, their photos are printed in media, so donating to some doing charity work or something kind of giving money to a institution, NGO or something like that. So such people are, they are now illicit relationship destroys our cleanliness, gambling destroys our truthfulness, intoxication destroys our austerity, and meat eating destroys our mercy and compassion. And we will remember these are the divine qualities which were described in verses number 1 to 3, those 26 qualities. So the result of such persons who are in mode of passion or ignorance, and who have possessed attitude of non-believing attitude in theory of karma and God, or Bhagwan feature, their activities are such that they are always engaged in self-sense gratification. And for self-sense gratification, they need money. Money for earning money, they do a lot of endeavor or activities. They work overtime and sometimes use even illegal means for earning extra money. And they want to satisfy their senses by those material objects. But the happiness they derive from such activities, it is transitory, and the desire for another acquisition, more bigger house, many more cars, more wealth, more prestige, so or more higher position, so that cycle keeps on going on, and they remain engaged in these material activities. So mentality is described here. It is attracted by impermanent, and that is impermanent, because we know that material nature is not permanent. It is changing fast, and nothing lasts in material nature for all the time, including living entities also subject to the, because their body is material, including Lord Brahma. The body is material, it is also subject to changes. So that is also, body is not permanent. But they don't believe in soul which is permanent. So the result is they are always attracted by impermanent thing. Then lust means lust and greed, they are their hallmark. The three worst demonic qualities are anger, lust, and greed. Those are the hallmark of a demonic person. We'll come to those three qualities afterwards. And they are illusion because they don't have possessing intelligence. They are always engaged in conceit of pride and false prestige. Yes, Mataji. Swam Prabha Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji. The demoniac person thinks, so much wealth do I have today, and I will gain more according to my schemes. So much is mine now, and it will increase in the future more and more. He is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemy will also be killed. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am perfect, powerful, and happy. I am the richest man, surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful and happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifices, I shall give some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. In this way, such persons are deluded by ignorance. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Thank you, Mataji. So such persons are living in their own world of dreams. And this, because they are totally materially, they have a material concept of life. So the material concept of life, we know, is a transitory phase only. It is ever changing and it does not give us real happiness or bliss in any way. So their concept is so much wealth I have today and I will gain more according to my schemes. So he is working very hard to attain more and more wealth. And now possession, physical material possessions, he will keep on increasing. Now he is my enemy and I have killed him. It does not really mean killing, physical killing. It means there are, when a person is aristocrat, then he doesn't look down. He looks how many other people are much richer as compared to him. So there is a sense of competition amongst such a rich person, and he wants to attain more and more opulence and wealth and want to become the richest person. So the killing means not physical killing, but a competitive spirit for possession of material objects and material opulence. That is the purpose. Such persons who are more rich as compared to this person, he thinks those are his enemies, and accordingly he wants to defeat them. So then he thinks that I am the controller because I have got lot of money, lot of opulence, lot of material objects of comfort and luxury. So I am the controller. Because I can afford it, and I am the enjoyer. He forgets. We will remember that Krishna is the ultimate enjoyer. Krishna is the only Purush who has created this material nature for his own enjoyment. We are just custodians here in the form of living entity. So when a person is having self-pride and lot of false ego and pride and false ego and does not believe in God, he thinks that he is the controller, he is the owner of everything, and also he is the enjoyer. And he considers himself very powerful, happy. Richest man, there is no powerful as happy as I am. I shall perform sacrifice, I shall give some. Now, this is another aspect, such a person who has a demonic quality. He thinks that I have got a lot of money, I can help poor persons. So it is not out of duty. In mode of goodness, whatever sacrifice and charity is done is to be done as a part of duty, religious duty. But here, this person in mode of passion, whatever charity sacrifice he does it out of self-ego to show himself that he is such a rich person. He can donate to certain organizations and do certain charitable work. Sometimes they will donate to hospital or sometimes to a home for aged or maybe some orphanage. They consider in fact, their charity they are doing out of mercy for those persons. They forget that it is their duty because they are not in a mode of goodness. You can see these three pictures. Anybody would like to, Mataji, please describe these pictures. Swam Prabha Mataji. On the top.
I'm not able to see.
Yes.
Picture is not displayed. It is not showing in my screen. I don't know whether it is an internet issue or what.
Anybody else
no.
would like to comment? What is anyone else?
Yes, Prabhuji.
No,
First
yes.
picture.
Yeah, Dubey,
May I,
Prabhuji.
Prabhuji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Dubey.
First is a picture of Hiranyakashipu with Prahlad.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
And second picture is of Mahabharata. No, it is Mahabharata. No. Third is Ravana and Sita Mata.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. You're right. So Prahlad in the lap of Hiranyakashipu. Now Hiranyakashipu is Prahlad Maharaj is explaining what happened in the school. The school where he was admitted for education. He is lovingly asking, but when he takes name of Narayan, becomes his facial expression is that of anger and pride because he could not listen the name of Lord. Second picture on right hand side. Anybody else would like to comment? What is this?
That is Mata Sita and Ravana and protecting the Gadura.
No.
He is trying to protect Mata Sita. No?
No, this is picture of Kans. Kans is with the holding his head. This the sword is there.
Okay, fine. Yes,
Devaki
Prabhuji.
Mata.
This is Devaki and Vasudeva.
Yes. So what happens?
Yeah, and Kansa, when he came to know about the Akashvani, that the eighth son of Devaki and Vasudeva will kill you. So he got very angry and he
Yes.
tried to kill
Yes.
Devaki herself, that she should not live and the child will not born.
Thank you, Mataji. So
Take
that is the story behind it. In fact, that the day was when this Akashvani was there in the sky. He heard it was the day when he, after the marriage ceremony of Devaki with Vasudeva, Devaki was his sister. After the marriage, he was taking them to their place. That is soon after the marriage. And when he heard this kind of Akashvani, the voice from ether, then he wanted to kill Devaki, his real sister, immediately in this chariot. But Vasudev, he pursues that, please do not kill her. She is your real sister, and it is a big sin if one kills one's sister. So this is what is happening, Prahlad Maharaj. And here you can see Ravan disguised as a sage, as a sadhu, asking for alms from Sita, Mother Sita, who is in a part kutir, and everybody, Lord Rama and Lakshmana, both are out. So this is what is showing. So these people are out of deceit, self-pride, Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, and this Kansa, they are out of self-pride. And what was Ravana doing? Ravana was preparing a ladder so that he, along with his family members and all citizens, subjects of his estate, could go to enter heaven directly without leaving this material body here. So this kind of demonic mentality Ravana had, and we know the story of Kansa, how cruel he was and how many times he tried to kill child Krishna by sending so many demons and so many kind of activities. And Prahlad Maharaj, how he was tortured by his own father, closed in a room with containing deadly snakes. He was thrown from a hill. He was thrown from, left in a forest with wild animals. And he was even put into the fire. So all kind of attempts to kill Prahlad Maharaj, his own son, by this demonic person happened. So this depicts how demonic people can be so perverted, and because they do not believe in God. So further description of demonic mentality, it is the same thing is compiled here. I am the controller and enjoyer, that the person with demonic nature considers that everything is under his control. Whatever he wants, he can do. Whatever he wants others to do, he can get done. And he is the supreme enjoyer. He forgets that Krishna is supreme enjoyer. That is because of false ego and attachment to material nature. Then second is, he considers that I am perfect and powerful. If person attains a very high position and has lot of opulence and authority and rule, then he considers that there is no one more powerful and rich than compared to him. And he feels in defeating his enemies, not really killing, but defeating or competing, and he wants to reach the top. So this is how the persons are deluded. So this is his feeling. I am the Lord of everything. I am the enjoyer. I am the perfect and powerful. I am richest man surrounded by aristocratic relatives. There is none so powerful as happy as I am, and he is my enemy, and I have killed him, and my other enemies also will killed. So shall sacrifice, I shall do some charity, and thus I shall rejoice. So this is kind of mentality, the person with demonic nature, and it has been clearly described in the previous slide with the role of Hiranyakashipu, role of Ravana, and role of Kansa. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Swayam Prabha Mataji, are you there? Anyone else would like to take up? Pankaj
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhuji. Can I read?
Yes, Mataji. Thank you. Please. I was
Okay.
calling for you.
अनेक चित्त विभ्रांता मोह जात समावृताः प्रसक्ताः काम भोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च. Thus perplexed by various anxieties and bound by a network of illusion, one becomes too strongly attached to sense enjoyment and falls down into hell.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So you can see here the person is so perplexed. He is disillusioned. He is always under anxieties because his desires are never fulfilled. He's never happy in real sense. He is always tense, working very hard, always anxious, always finding ways and means to earn more, to work more, to defeat his enemies, to become more powerful and to become more perfect. And sometimes out of self-pride and ego, he will be doing some kind of charitable work. So this verse has very important word, mohjal samabrata. Mohjal means, analogy is given here, that of a net which catches fish. We know fishing net. So person is imprisoned in this mohjal. He becomes, moh means that this illusion. Illusion is Maya. In the jal of Maya, or in Maya jal, he becomes so captivated and imprisoned that he wants to come out of this Maya jal, but he cannot, because the desires do not permit him to leave this place. So he is always engaged in this moh jal, and because of one desire, another desire, and then yet another desire. So unending desires keep him busy inside this mohjal. And also he becomes so attached to sense enjoyment because he derives pleasure in enjoying his senses by taking to wine, women, by taking to intoxication, by taking meat eating, and all kind of other illicit practices. He becomes very, very. So there is no end to this to enjoyment of his desires. He always thinks of advancing in much and doing more and more endeavor, and does not believe in the law of karma. If he becomes rich, he does not believe that out of pious activities in the previous life he has got, and he could get so much comfort and this opulences or wealth or money. He believes that it is because of his own efforts that I am rich. He does not believe that in the past life or the soul and super soul. So whenever there is a person who is richer as compared to him, as I just now mentioned, then he thinks that he is in his competition, he wants to kill him and he wants to supersede him. So such a person doing sense enjoyment falls down into hell. He creates his own, because he has no intelligence, he is alpa buddha, he does not have knowledge of soul and super soul and Lord Krishna. He creates his own gods. He creates his own method of sacrifice. He creates his own method of charities, which are not prescribed in the scriptures. The result is he doing all these things out of false ego and pride. He falls down into hell. That is, we have already seen that such demoniac persons, they either they are very pious sometimes and do a lot of charitable and nice activities, then they have a chance of getting human birth in the next life. Otherwise, they fall down into hell, hellish planets. They take birth in hellish planets or lower form of life. So, result of demonic work is yes. Pratibha Mataji, please read.
Sorry, Prabhuji, there was a disruption in the middle. I'm sorry.
No problem. Pratibha Mataji has taken up.
Yes, and the divine and demoniac nature, results of demoniac work. Perplexed by various anxieties and bound by network of illusion, becomes too strongly attached to sense enjoyment. Fall down to hell. Bound up by network of hundreds and thousands of desires and illusion. Examples.
Yeah. Now we have to find out our own example. Bound up by network of hundreds and thousands of desires and illusions. What are the examples? In fact, can anybody imagine what are the examples of such people who are demonic nature and they are always working for, they have low intelligence, they are under illusion, they do not have any knowledge, they don't believe in God, they don't believe in super soul, and Bhagwan feature of God. So such people are basically atheist. They are scientists, philosophers who are speculators. They do not believe in God. The theory their theory of creation of universe, creation of living entity is totally different. So these are the examples of such, and they are always bound by, they keep on doing research after research for creating such weapons which are weapons of mass destruction. They are not good for self, nor for the society, nor for the nations as a whole. So such peoples are basically atheists, philosophers, scientists, and speculators. So these are people. Yes, Mataji. Pratibha Mataji.
आत्मसं आत्मसंभाविताः स्तब्धा धनमान मदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेना विधिपूर्वकम्. Self-complacent and always impudent, deluded by wealth and false prestige, they sometimes proudly perform sacrifices in name only, without following any rules or regulations. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So now person is very affluent and he has his own concept of God, material nature, creation, maintainer, controller, enjoyer. So such a person, out of some, soft feelings or some of good sense, sometimes they perform religious activities. But these religious activities have nothing to, they are in Varna Ashrama. These are religious duties are prescribed as part of duty. So they do not consider it as their part of duty. And no rules and regulations while performing such sacrifice or charities are followed. They do it out of self-pride and ego for their earning respect from society and honor from other members. So the result is these activities also are become impious. Their activities are demonic because they don't have any basis of scriptures, rules, or regulations. They themselves don't follow the rules, regulations. They do not know about the scriptures. So whatever charity work they are doing becomes also impious, becomes a demonic activity. The reason, because some of the, what are the demonic preachings? The demonic things that they think that whatever path I have created, whatever sacrifice, the manner, charity or sacrifice I have done is the only path. This is the standard path. And beyond this, there is nothing. So because they do not do rules, regulation, they sometimes conquered their own God. We know about persons in ignorance. They worship ghosts and spirits and all kind of things. They think that is their God. And even in mode of passion, we know there are certain, instead of deity worship, these people worship certain people who are very powerful, aristocratic, hold high position, political leaders, or the such ministers. So they worship those persons. For them, their God is that political person, and they consider that the real God is, there is no, because they can't see real God, they can't experience, because they do not do devotional service. So they consider that God is dead, that God does not exist at all. And they consider their own God as real God. The political leaders, the affluent persons whom they worship, so for them that is their God. So such persons are bewildered. They do not know anything. So, but the real picture is given in this picture. The real worship is that of mode of goodness. You can see brahmanas and some sages doing some kinds of sacrifice, and they are trying to please the supreme enjoyer of sacrifice, that is Vishnu or Lord Krishna, who is the supreme enjoyer. So they are doing as part of their duty, because that is prescribed duty for a brahmana, or in all, at least Kshatriya, and also the performance of sacrifice is always there. Sacrifices are performed by Shudras also. We'll come to this three modes of material nature in the next chapter. What is the activity done in a particular mode, and how does it affect, what is the outcome of such a. So they are self-complacent, impudent, and deluded by wealth and prosperity, they proudly perform sacrifice in name only, without following any rules and regulation. Sacrifice should be, or charity should be done at the right place, at the right time, for the right person, right? So, but they do not know these things. They are hypocritical. Religious observances cannot save them, because whatever religious activities they are not in mode of passion or ignorance, they don't lead such persons to anywhere. Yes, Mataji. Ahankar, wonderful.
Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodham cha samshritaah mama mam atma paradeshu prad vishantu abhya suyakaha. Bewildered by false ego, strength, pride, lust, and anger, the demon becomes envious of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is situated in his own body and in all the bodies of others, and blasphemes against the real religion.
Yeah, please describe this picture also, Mataji. Anyone else would like to comment on this picture? You have seen
Hare
this
Krishna,
picture before.
Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, he is Sisupala. Sisupala is being killed by Krishna because he did many offenses against him, 100 offenses. Krishna has promised his mother that if he commit more than 100 offenses, then he will punish him.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah.
So Yudhishthir Maharaj had invited Lord Krishna to head the sacrificial performance which he had organized. Then you will remember Arjuna is called Dhananjaya, and for Yudhishthir Maharaj wanted Arjuna to collect money for holding this kind of sacrifice. So this sacrifice and the sacrificial Purush, or the chief of the sacrifice, chief enjoyer of the sacrifice, he wanted Krishna to be. So Krishna accepted it. Now in during performance of this sacrifice, what happens, this Shishupala appears and he starts abusing and blaspheming Lord Krishna, and says so many. Krishna is smiling and listening, and because he, as you said, 100 offenses he will forgive or pardon. But whenever even 101, he will be killed. That is how Sudarshan Chakra was sent by Lord Krishna, and he got killed at the spot. But you know, the beauty of this picture is that not a drop of blood fell down on the ground. Why? Anyone? Any idea?
Due to the Sudarshan Chakra, I think the warmth, the hotness of Sudarshan is dried up
Prabhuji,
the
because
Yes,
his
Mataji.
father, Sisupala's father was a great performing great penance. So if anybody killed him and his blood touched the ground, then he will be himself be dead. I think that was the case.
Yeah, maybe
I
this,
forgot.
I don't know about this, but Mataji, that this was a sacrifice, place of sacrifice is considered to be a very pious place. And Krishna did
Yeah.
not want this place to get,
Okay.
become impure by drop of blood. Blood is not considered to be auspicious. So place of sacrificial place is considered, or sacrificial Agni is considered to be most holy, and Lord Krishna himself is sitting there. So the place has to be very, very pious, So not a drop of blood fell down, because blood drop would have made this place impious and unfit for sacrifice.
Oh, yes.
That is one of the reasons which
Okay,
I know. Anyway, thank you, Mataji.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So why people are bewildered of false ego, strength, and pride, and lust and anger? The demon becomes envious of this. Because such persons, why they become envious? Because they consider their material assets are too many. They possess lot of knowledge. Everything is in their control. They are the enjoyer. So the result is that they do not know the opulences, the supremacy of Supreme Personality of Godhead or Krishna. So they become envious. They consider whatever Krishna can do, I can also do. I possess more opulence than him. So they forget that Krishna is sitting in their heart as super soul of Paramatma. And whatever they are doing against the real religion, and real religion is to worship Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
तान् अहं द्विषतः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान्. Sorry, I've missed the page now. Kshipami ajasram ashubhan ashurishva iva yonishu. Those who are envious and mischievous, who are the lowest among men, are cast by me into the ocean of material existence, into the various demoniac species of life.
Thank you, Mataji. So now Krishna says that those who are envious of me, those who are mischievous, those who do not believe in soul and super soul, those who do not believe God is the creator, enjoyer, and maintainer and protector of each and every living entity, they are engaged in material existence. They do not know spiritual concept of life. The result is they keep on rotating in the cycle of birth and death in this material world. Sometimes as a human being and sometimes in the lower species of life. So their fate is determined. These people are in mode of passion or ignorance, and there is no chance for liberation for such people. So this is their fate. Ultimately, they keep on possessing demonic qualities, and they continue like this. Yes. After Pratibha Mataji, anybody would like to volunteer? This verse, please, Pratibha Mataji, please continue.
Okay. Asurim yonimapanna mudha janmani janmani mam apraप्यैव kaunteya tato yantya dhamam gatim. Attaining repeated birth amongst the species of demoniac life, such persons can never approach me. Gradually, they sink down to the most abominable type of existence. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So such persons who are envious, mischievous, non-believers, atheists, scientists, speculators, or philosophers, they never attain me. Attain me means they never get liberation. They do not get a spiritual concept of life. They keep on returning to material world again and entering into the cycle of birth and death. So they are never liberated. Sometimes they are degraded to lower forms of life. So life after life, they are put into. You can see these persons who are as living entities, they are going down into this material fire of the material world and taking birth again and again. So they are going down, and another feature of his mercy, that placing of asuras in the lowest status of life, is another feature of his mercy. Now, sometimes out of compassion for such souls who had been very pious in earlier form of life, such people get human life, and they get lot of opulence also, authority, power, all kind of comfort and luxuries, like Hiranyakashipu had that, Ravan had that, like they do sometimes charitable work, sometimes lot of austerity and penances, and they get certain benedictions from demigods. That is how they become very powerful. And this power makes them mad. And their intelligence is lost, like that of Ravana, who was involved in all kind of impious activities. So Lord's mercy has got, different type. But ultimately, these asuras also are killed by Lord himself, and then they get liberated. Whoever demon was killed by Lord Krishna, he got instantly Sayujya Mukti, that he merged into Lord, because he was part and parcel, but because of his demonic nature, he was separated. That ultimately emerges. Ravan and Kansha sword. That sometimes he is present, he is merciful to give such souls human life also, so that they can, because they have performed certain kind of spiritual activities or certain kind of charity, austerity, or penance, and sometimes they have realized the highest goal, the purpose of human life, or the highest goal of human life. So by this mere realization and belief, they get a human birth again. Human birth is given again to seek liberation, to devotional service, to realize self. Who am I? What am I? Why I am here? And what is the purpose of this human form? And why I have come here? So when one realizes these things, then such a person, though demonic in nature, may get a human form of life also. But most of the person out of false ego and pride, they do get involved in sense gratification, enjoying material things, have no faith in God, then they slide down or to a degrade down to a lower form of life. So this is the fate ultimately Lord Krishna is describing what happens. In this picture, fate of a demonic person, they glide down to hell. It is given. They glide down to hell. What never attain me means they never attains means they never get liberated. Their soul never gets liberated, and they ultimately remain in human or animal form of life, and they never get liberation. They don't never attain the transcendental nature of Krishna or reach his abode or the Goloka Vrindavana. What is the hope for them? Because God is supposed to be all merciful. But God is, just now I mentioned that God is very merciful. Sometimes he gives them birth as a human being again so that they can rectify and rise above or elevate themselves. Or sometimes they are given so many opulences. Even demonic persons get so many opulences. You know, Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu means the bed of gold or bed of comfort. He was Hiranyakashipu, bed of comfort and gold. He was fond of wealth as well as women also. So that is how Lord is kind enough, merciful to such demons also. But because of their activities, attitude and activities, engagement in different kind of demonic activities, they ultimately go down and they are killed by Lord Krishna. So this we have left with 7 minutes only, 2-3 minutes. So we'll stop here. Riya Mataji, you can have 1 verse 6 demonic nature. You can have 21, then we'll have to stop. Or we can have 2 verses more, but I don't know.
Okay.
This is in fact last. If we can quickly finish reading, then we can finish this chapter. 4 verses are remaining. Riya Mataji, please continue.
Okay.
I'll not-
Traibityam
Yeah.
Narakshyadam Dwaram Nasanam Atmana Kama Krodhas Tatha Lobhas Tasmat Etat Trayam Tyajed. There are 3 gates leading to this hell: lust, anger, and greed. Every sane man should give this up, for they lead to the degradation of the soul. Hare Krishna.
So now Lord is telling in verse number 21 to 24 how to get rid of this demonic nature, how one can rise above these demonic qualities and get freedom from them. This is the practical application. Lord is out of the total demonic qualities, one person has about the 3 factors which are common in all demons, and that is lust. Lust means strong desire to possess anything. Anger, we know. Greed is, of course, lolium, greed for possessing more and more. Lust is used in a adverse sense. It is used in a bad sense. Like Ravana, out of lust, wanted to steal. He stole, Mother Sita. So that was lust. Anger, we know anger of Parashuram, and anger, he was very angry with the Lord Hanuman, and when he had burned the Lanka. And the greed, we know the greed to possess more and more, that was Hiranyakashipu. Example is this. So he says that lust, anger, and greed are 3 gates to hell. If person has got these things, he will not get a chance to liberation. Yes, Mataji.
Etar Bimukta Konteya Tamo Dwares Tribhir Nara Acharati Atmana Shreyas Tato Yati Param Gatim. The man who has escaped these 3 gates of hell, O son of Kunti, performs acts conducive to self-realization and thus gradually attains the supreme destination.
So,
Hare Krishna.
so demonic person, the qualities can be get rid of by just having lust, anger, and greed. From these lust, anger, and greed, all kind of other demonic activities arise. So if one has got control over these things, then he proceeds for self-realization. How does he? Such a person surrenders to spiritual master who is a bona fide from disciplic succession. Then he is motivated to study Veda. He performs austerity, penance, and sacrifices. There is control of sense and mind in such a person, and ultimately he attains a spiritual concept of life and he gets liberated. He knows about Krishna. So this is a opposite pole. So far as from demonic nature, if one becomes free from lust, anger, and greed, he can proceed on to the divine nature. And once one attains divine nature, by control of mind and senses, association of pure devotees, shelter of guidance of spiritual master, he attains spiritual concept of life, and he knows that Krishna is supreme, and he performs loving devotional service to Krishna. That means a purification process takes place. Yes, Mataji. Sorry. This is the hell gate, shown anger, lust, and greed. They are picturized here. Now, yes, Mataji. Yeah, Shastra.
Ya Sastra Bidhim Ushrajya Bhartate Kama Karata Na Sa Siddhim Abapnoti Na Sukham Na Param Gatim. But he who discards scriptural injunctions and acts according to his own whims attain neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So the emphasis is again how to attain freedom from demonic qualities by following the four regulative principles. And we know what is the effect of such following the principles. And if one who does not follow the principles, how austerity, compassion, mercy, truthfulness, and cleanliness, all these things are lost by not following the these four regulative principles. Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Vyavasthito Kyanadva Sastra Vidanoktam Karma Kartum Ihar Hasi. One should understand what is duty and what is not duty by the regulations of scriptures. Knowing such rules and regulations, one should act so that he may gradually be elevated. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Mataji, please describe this picture also. Right hand side. We have seen this picture also.
He is the guru of Krishna and Balrama.
Yes.
I forgot the name.
Sandeepni.
Okay.
Sandeepni Guru is, so even, the Lord required a guru to learn Vedas. Veda, which were his own creations. So this is just give an ideal example for us to follow, that we have to have a spiritual master in our life who is drawn from a disciplic succession, who is Tattvadarshi, who has seen the truth, he knows the truth and learned the truth from in a disciplic succession. So even Lord Krishna, Lord Ram, everybody had a spiritual master. We know that thing very well. So, and who is going to tell these things? Only spiritual master. That is what is our duty. That is what is privritti, what is nivritti, what one should do, what one should not do. So that is how one can get develop divine qualities and keep away from or get freedom from demonic qualities. So this is the essential aspect. This is summary of chapter number 16. We study transcendental and demonic qualities, 1 to 3 divine qualities or Devi Sampada, and thereafter demonic qualities, the demonic nature, 7 to 20, and how to escape or how to get freedom from demonic qualities, and ultimately what shall be the destination of such a person. That is described in last verse. Such a person who knows, he attains Krishna. So we come to end of this chapter number 16. Any quick questions we can have just now? Hare Krishna. Would like to ask anything, any doubt or anything before we close today session? Priya Mataji, if there is no question, attendance link I have posted in the chat box. Please sign your attendance form and also fill it and submit, and those say their closing prayer before we close down for today's session.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, please.
Prabhuji, I have only one question.
Yes, Mataji.
Guru is very important to have any knowledge, whether it's a worldly, it's a physical, or it's a devotional, it's spiritual.
Yes, Mataji.
But in our culture, some people made guru. I mean, in a spiritual path, who does not exist this time. So I mean, it's a very curious question. Ki how if the guru is not existed in the physical form, that guru may show the path to the disciple.
So this is in ISKCON, there's a rhetoric theory. A person who is not physically formed cannot do initiation, cannot accept disciples. That is the concept here. In ISKCON, in fact, the guru is a physically present person who has come in disciplic succession. Like after Srila Prabhupada, we have Guru Pataka Maharaj at the moment, and he is doing initiation. So Guru has to be alive. I mean, so far as we are concerned, we have to follow a sampradaya where there is a guru who has come in the disciplic succession. So a person who is not there, he cannot be considered as a guru. As a matter of fact, so far as ISKCON is concerned, or this Brahma Gaudiya, Brahma Madhav Gaudiya Sampradaya is concerned, we have a living guru always, Mataji.
Thanks, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please say the closing prayer, then we will stop.
Okay, Prabhuji. Vanchakalpatarubhyasa kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha.
Anant Koti Vaishnav ki jai,
Anant
Srila
Koti
Prabhupada
Vaishnav ki
ki
jai.
jai. Hare Krishna Mataji, Prabhuji, thank you for your association this
Thank you,
evening.
Prabhuji.
And Dandavat Pranam
Thank
to
you.
all of you. Thank you, Mataji. Please fill the attendance
Thank you,
before we leave.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Thank you.
Hare
Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Dandavat pranam.
Dandavat Pranam.
Dandavat pranam, Prabhuji.
Please fill in the form, attendance form.